So on the phone today, and it's a good day to have him. Anthony in Illinois wants to know a little bit about what evidence we have for why God doesn't exist, but also claims he's got scientific and personal evidence that God does exist. So welcome, Anthony. Which God is it that we're talking about?
I'm a Christian, so that should give you the answer.
Okay. How did you disprove all the other gods?
How did I disprove all of the other gods?
Yeah, I mean, you're calling in to ask me how I disproved your God, so I'm assuming you've done the work and disproved all those other gods, right?
Yeah, it's not my position to try to disprove all of the other gods or all of the other religions. I just came here
and it's not, and
it's ask you a couple of questions.
No, that's fine. So that was my point, Anthony, is that it's not up to us to disprove your God or anybody else's God. It's up to you to prove them. My position is not, I've proved that your God doesn't exist. My position is, I am not convinced that your God does exist.
Exactly. That's the reason why I wanted to get into my questions, because I knew this is where you were going to take it. Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to start the, debate off with asking you a yes or no question. Do you believe in God?
No.
You don't believe in God. Okay. So what evidence do you have that prove that God is not real, other than strictly saying that you have no supernatural evidence or experiences?
Anthony, it's like you weren't listening to the beginning of the call at all. It's not up to me to No, you weren't listening. You weren't listening. Listen to me. Listen, Anthony, listen, Anthony, would you listen to me? You just asked me what proof or evidence I have that proves that God doesn't exist. When I addressed this at the beginning of your call, I don't need to disprove a God. It's not my job to disprove a God. I don't have to, nor should you. You answered this yourself. How the hell can you go to that question after what I introduced? It's up to you to prove that your God exists. And until it does, I'm not going to be convinced.
So are you afraid of answering the question? Is that it?
I'm afraid. Yes, Anthony, you big strapping intellectual there. You've sorted it out. The guy who hosts. No. I'm going to put you on mute for a second. You've sorted it out, Anthony. The guy who hosts a weekly call-in show, who debates all callers who call in, who also makes his living doing debates against professional apologists, is afraid to answer your question. Also, we're talking about the guy who answered your question with the very first comment that I made about your call. So would you like to try again?
I'm going to move on to the next question, okay?
How about you answer the question I asked, which was, okay. Go ahead.
Just one more question.
Okay.
So if the end of time came,
there's no such thing.
If the end of time came and God revealed, okay, I'm just throwing a question out there. You can say that.
Well, if monkeys fly out of my butt, but go ahead.
Okay. So if the end of time came and God revealed himself to you and said, hey, you didn't keep the faith, do you know where that leaves you?
Which God is revealing himself to me?
That would leave you with that.
Anthony, hang on. I'm going to mute you again, Anthony, because you don't fucking understand how conversations work. If you ask me a question and I start answering it, to start interrupting that answer with something else is not going to get you the answer. And so you're asking me, if the end of time comes and God says, hey, you didn't keep the faith, I'm asking you, which God is saying that? And what do you mean by keep the faith?
The faith that God actually exists, man. That's what I'm asking you.
Okay.
So if you're asking, come at the end of time before your judgment and say, you didn't keep the faith.
There's no evidence. There's no evidence that your God exists or that there will be an end of time where I will be judged. But to answer your question, if a God comes to me and says, hey, it's time for me to judge you, and you did not believe in me, I will say, you are correct, and you already know the answer to this because evidently you know me. Why didn't you provide sufficient evidence to justify this position, you immoral thug?
Immoral thug. Okay, so that would leave you with believing and going to hell with gasoline draws on, though, right? You're okay with that?
There's nothing I can do about it. You're acting as if I should just believe just in case a particular threat is real. Are you going to, I tell you what, Anthony, what do you, Anthony, what are you going to do with when I come to you and say that you owe me $1 billion and without that $1 billion, you're going to have to get eaten by ants in my backyard?
I'm going to get eaten by ants in your backyard.
There you go. And was there anything you could do about it?
I mean, there's nothing that you can do about it, but I was just asking you if you were okay with that. You're okay with going.
No, that's why. No, I'm not okay with it. That's Anthony. Would you listen, please?
So why don't you just
Anthony, would you shut up and listen, please?
No, making you mad here. Okay.
You're not making me mad. You're just being rude. You can't ask a question and then
very upset. I'm not trying to be rude though. I'm not.
Okay, now your ass is muted again. I'm tired of you talking. Listen. No, I'm not okay with it because I think that would make that God an immoral thug, which is why I called it an immoral thug. If there's a God that has the ability to either reward or punish people based on their beliefs and does not offer sufficient evidence for people to reach a conclusion, then he is an immoral thug imposing that. I'm not okay with it. I think it's immoral. But if he's a God, there's nothing I can do about it, right?
Exactly. So you are aware that you have over 300K subscribers, right? And that you could be possibly turning a lot of people away from God with your opinion.
Yes, that's the whole fucking goal, Anthony. Anthony, do you think I don't know fucking how many people are following and how
people away from God? Do you know that is the devil's work? That is
no, I don't know it's the devil's work because you haven't proven that there's a devil.
Away from God. You're turning people away from God.
I know. Yes, Anthony.
Why won't you admit that?
Anthony, listen, I'm putting you on mute. I just said for the 19th time in a row, yes, I know that I'm leading people away from God. I've been doing it for a long fucking time. I love leading people away from a God that nobody has demonstrated exists because that is how people are being abused. That's how your mind is being abused, sir.
That is insane. Hey, I rest my case, man. I let you reveal yourself to the people. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted you to reveal who you really are to the people. Anthony,
do you think you revealed me? I've been hosting this show for 16 years. Do you think I've ever hidden the fact that I am actively willing to lead people away from bullshit gods that don't exist? What do you think you proved here today? What's that? What is it you think you proved here today?
Am I muted or unmuted?
You're unmuted if you'll answer my question, which is what is it you think you proved here today?
That you have no evidence that God is not real.
Yeah, we settled this shit at the beginning of the call. I'm sorry that your brain is broken on this subject, but I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm waste time. I'm not going to waste Darrel's time or anybody else's. Okay, Darrel.
I would just want to say one little thing to Anthony. Anthony, learn.
It's too late, but go ahead.
Well, he's probably still listening. Anthony, learn some conversational skills. It'll help you in your life, with or without religion. So,
yeah. I love the fact that right off the beginning, I asked Anthony if he's disproved all the other gods. Nope. But he seems to think that there was some need to get me to say that I don't have evidence that there is no God, and yet I'm leading people away from it. Hey, Anthony, do you have evidence that there's not a Loch Ness monster? And if you were convincing people that they shouldn't believe there is one, it's not worth it.
No.